structure-wise, and we should mention, is that we're going to try to do like a third Monday. Teachers would come voluntarily at the end of the day, but we're going to provide some kind of technology, 2-hour. They have 2 faculty meetings a month. One, the first Monday of the month is the regular faculty, then they have a PD hour. But we're going to have a voluntary Monday 2-hour training, so they can come. Jim will do his blogging. He did a great job that day with that after school. Nick will do more smartboard training. And Tom Harris, we had come in and do some work with Excel. So the PD committee, which is teachers and administration, come up with trying this now every month for the rest of the year. And teachers can use it for their iPlads. So teachers are getting excited. You know, I think it's really building.
Committee reports, the 2 sits.
Yeah, the Melrose sit met on December 10th, and what was pretty interesting is we had a very short meeting in the library, and I attended my first webinar. Marilyn had set up a webinar through Rigor Relevance folks, and we went into the computer lab at Melrose, and the webinar was basically on preparing children for the workplace, or you know what skills would be needed, and so forth. It was interesting. I mean, the webinar, I could see where there's going to be great application, and I was advised that this one was a little drier than others that Marilyn had been part of. But it was interesting. Somewhere off in cyberspace, some woman was talking about these issues. And as about halfway through, I realized I had heard her speak when we went down to Florida. But good points. I mean, it's basically a PowerPoint presentation and a woman somewhere, you know, on another planet, I guess. And we had the opportunity to type in questions and would be answered and so forth. But it was a couple of minor technical snafus on their end, but I found it interesting in that you could see with a little tweaking, it could be a really good educational tool. But I felt like I was actually part of the 21st century.
It was kind of nice because we shut it off at the end and we had our own discussion instead of typing in the questions, and I thought that was nice. And it seemed like our SIT team really liked the idea of having webinars for our meetings, so I think we're going to be looking for more for the future meetings.
Statistical practices have had 1 month or a topic, and some of them have been really outstanding.
Yes.
But others, it depends on the presenter.
Yeah,
Some are a little drier.
It was good information. It was a PowerPoint slide, so you just had to bear with that, but the information that was shared was valuable. But sometimes you get a presenter, you know, and you can see their face, and this was slides, but it was good.
There she was. And the Lone Sit met last Thursday, the 10th as well, discussed a number of issues, among them advisory. And we had a number of teachers talk about advisory and how successful it's become and how it's evolved over time, 3 or 5 through 8. And the fact that Jamestown is one of the few middle schools in the state that actually has an advisory up and functioning. Websites, teacher websites are being updated. Had some discussions and feedback on 5th and 6th grade report cards and also the student-led conferences in 7th and 8th grade, and responses all seem to be very positive. Feedback was very positive. So good tweaking and improvements that could be done, but overall very positive. 5 through 8 ELA teachers have met to set quarterly benchmarks in writing and are looking at putting up those benchmarks perhaps here in the library on the bulletin boards, and finding ways to demonstrate and show good quality writing, good, better, best type of writing examples. Under rigor, relevance, and relationships, planning is underway for an RR and R night in January.
Starting to plan in January.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
right.
Julie
And
said
I'm joking,
January.
I'd love to see it in
That's
January,
right.
but it may be February, maybe
Right.
March, but hopefully getting
Informational, like
the
parents.
feedback that we get from parents is we still don't
Right.
know really what that is.
That's
We
right.
really haven't heard enough about it. So to have a night that focuses on that. Also, some of the teachers, I don't know if this is teacher-led or if this is principal-led, the One School, One Book initiative. which-
Kristen actually brought that DeSantis to the table, our 8th grade LA.
Yeah, which I think is a great possible program. It's 5 through 8, chooses one book, and whether they read it during the school year or during summer, all students read that book as an assignment and then get together by grade level, I would imagine, to discuss and do some kind of work on that single book. But, trying to unite the 5 through 8 school as an entity and give them a common project to work on, focused on reading and analysis. And then, and the last was a discussion. A parent brought some concerns to the SIT, and I in turn will bring them to the committee to perhaps put on an agenda for a future meeting to discuss 2 issues. A policy, the no food for school celebrations policy. A parent had some very strong objections to that and asked that we review that and felt strongly. I felt it was infringing on her child's right to eat what she wanted. There you have it. So she asked that we review that and discuss that some more. And then the other issue was with the school lunch program, feedback is, by and large, the food is not particularly appealing, not appealing to kids' palates, and also the portion sizes are small and inadequate for middle schoolers. So the SIT asked that I bring that forward to the committee to discuss at our next meeting.
I can tell you that I have begun inquiries about doing a different sort of lunch program.
It's an idea near and dear to our heart.
Is it Jane doing this?
It is. It's Maria doing it.
And
Something else to do.
doing that for us.
They actually say they were interested, but at what cost?
Not, I don't know
Yeah.
yet, but
They have a sandwich bar, but it costs the kids $5. It's very
what
popular.
I was talking to them was about,
A bag lunch.
a bag lunch.
Yeah.
That they would prepare in their kitchen. They were very interested. They said actually they were going to approach their senior center with an idea that they could do that for them too. Because I think they're looking to up their volume
Yes.
or whatever. And the amount that we're subsidizing, even after the kids pay for these lunches, the amount we subsidize them. And daily participation is about $150. So if we could use that money in another way for greater relevance,
Yeah.
foreign language,
Yeah.
any of our
All
strategic
for
plan
it.
goals, and still provide a healthy lunch that meets all the requirements, I'm at least investigating.
Could we ask, I don't know if it makes sense to put at least the snack policy, the food in classroom celebrations policy, either on the agenda or would the policy subcommittee want to
I'm all set with that
look at that?
policy.
Yeah.
Review? I figured it might be a
We
short
reviewed it
discussion.
exhaustively,
Right.
and it was the wellness committee
The
sponsored
nurse
it,
and every
it
piece
was,
of, every piece of health statistic we could find and so forth. I'm all set with that. I have no
Do the
desire to open it up
administrators,
at all.
has this policy that we now adopted caused the administrators difficulties? Would they like us to review the policy?
It's not causing me difficulties. I do think maybe we should have thought a little bit more about the cooking at preschool and kindergarten level.
Yes.
I think not having them able to do that might be, I think there's some educational value to that when they were doing certain recipes. And here it is, the children talk about it a lot because it's no food other than their snack coming in, and I will warn you that Grade 8 Project Citizen has taken it on as the #1 concern of theirs as a class, and so they will be going through the proper channels and will at
Maybe
some
we
point
should
come to your
consider it
attention.
that.
Well, what I would like to do is before I reopen anything, I'd like specific concerns to address. Because the only concern I heard had to do with denying this person child food. That child can bring whatever food they want into, they just can't bring it in for everybody.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm using that as an example, that if anybody has specific concerns that they would like to address this, I am all set.
Because they can each be.
So I'm not gonna reopen that can of frosting, you know.
Extensive discussions on
Yes, we did.